All right, so a friend of mine mentioned to me about these rabbit pens that this YouTuber, I believe his name is NL Ghost Wolf, was making. I just thought it was intriguing. I went and checked it out anyway, and I thought, yeah, it's pretty intriguing. So I decided to build one to see how it worked. And upon building them, I realized that maybe I could make some changes because they were a little bulky and you know, it took a lot of material to make them. So I've kind of redesigned them a little. Instead of a rectangular pen, I kind of made this triangle design that can fold together. 2 snares in the front. You can kind of put your bait, which is of course birch tips, in the back of that triangle. And then they fold up neatly into this little compact unit. Works quite well. So I made a few of them, 3 or 4. The dimensions of them are 3 by 2, 2 being high, 3 width. And the reason they're this size, of course, is so they can fold together and fit in my sleigh. I could probably pack 10 or 15 of these if I wanted to. I probably won't be making 10 or 15 of them. But anyway, first of all, of course, some scrap strapping. So you cut them into 3 by 2, so you can easily get, you know, like a 3 and a 3 and a 2 out of an 8-piece of strapping, 8-foot piece of strapping, and it works nice. There's no wastage. The wire, chicken wire, comes in a 50-foot roll. I think it's 3 feet high, so there's very little wastage on that. And out of a 50-foot roll, you could, you know, probably get 7 or 8 of these things. So step 1, of course, is strapping corners. This is spruce strapping, so you're going to need to I pre-drilled the holes. I also glued the corners as well. I had some glue here, so I did that. Pretty straightforward. Step 2, of course, chicken wire, which is stapled on. Just takes a few minutes. So that gets you finished side. Then I drill some holes and just use some basic wire in the corners so that they can, you know, close and open. And you can put your couple snares there. You can literally fold them together and pack them in your sleigh. So today, I'm going to set these 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just going to test them overnight and see if they do catch rabbits. And according to NL Ghost Wolf on his YouTube channel, he tested them and they worked, which surprised me a little, but I'm going to try these out to see if these triangle ones work as well. Do you need to build these pens to catch rabbits? Well, of course not. A rabbit is a pretty easy creature to snare. You don't need to do this. What intrigued me was how you could set the snare so quickly. So you could literally have your snares tied on, you could pull it out of your sleigh, collapse it open, and you can set 2 snares in an area where rabbits are kind of running everywhere. You could set it in like 5, 6, 7 seconds and go on to the next. The other intriguing part of this for me was the fact that you get a big dump of snow and all your top sets are snowed in, which takes time to clean and pull them back up, reset your snares. You could literally lift this up, give it a shake, and lay it back down on the top of the snow, and you are set to go again. So that's the 2 intriguing points of this for me. Was throw it in the sleigh, you can have snares set very quickly, and then in the big dump of snow, you can just literally lift them out, give them a shake, put them down. Obviously, you don't need to do this, and some people might be saying, why would you waste all that material? And I guess in a way, I'd agree with you 100% there. For me, it's being bored. We had a very mild winter here. We weren't able to get out on a snowmobile until like literally a few days ago. And I've been bored, and I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I've been wanting to experiment in the shed and have a little bit of fun. So we're going to test these out tonight, and I'll let you know if a rabbit will actually go inside of this chicken wire trap in an attempt to feed on birch tops that will be placed in the back of this triangle. So stay tuned. We'll see how this works out. Okay, number 1, 2 snares, get a little bit of birch put back in the corner, and we'll see what tonight brings. Set number 1, triangle pen set. All right, so triangle set, 2 snares, birch tips in the back. We have a lot of snow today. Coming in through the trail, she's just pushing it. A lot of times with a bit of speed right up on the front rack. We must have 10 or 12 inches of fresh powder. All right, so we're checking the triangle pins, and we seem to have one rabbit, but he's not there. So he must have either, I don't know, it seemed to come untied, or somebody maybe took it. I don't know, who cares? But as you can see by the tracks, snare's gone. And he was inside the pen, so I guess that dictates that they do go in the pens. Just no rabbit to show for it. On to the others. All right, so we got a lot of rabbits on around. As you can see, a rabbit has been in. You can see the droppings there. And ate a lot of birch. And the snares are not touched. So I don't know, maybe they crawled underneath them. I'm just gonna set them back up. Trying something, maybe put a little stick beneath them this time, a little dry stick. But somehow they got in without getting in the snare. All right, well, let's try something for tomorrow. All right, night 2. Bowed in the top because I wasn't sure if he was jumping in over or not, but it seemed to work. On to the next one. All right. And another one there. He seemed to have broke the snare. But I hadn't. Set up another snare. So they do catch rabbits. I've got them incorporated in my regular snare line now, so I don't know if they catch rabbits any better or worse, but we'll soon know. This one snowed in pretty good. We had a lot of snow overnight, as you can see. But in digging it out, I do have a bunny in there. He must have obviously got in maybe before the snow came, or maybe not, because it takes a lot of snow. Those boughs keep the snow off. I'll pull this one up, resetting. All right, quick reset. Pulled them up, put new snares in them, tops back on them. Just takes a few minutes. Just a little quick tip. As you carry these around the sleigh and you move them around a little bit, what I found is I could just literally step off the trail and lay them down and face the snares back in towards the woods, and it leaves it kind of undisturbed. There's no holes to cover up around, so it's just, the only step is the hole is where you step in and lay them down. Chuck the tops back in, chuck the birch tips back in, and throw the tops on and protect it from the snowfall. And it seems to work best. Something that I've picked up on this little experiment, I guess. Another thing I'd like to mention, I just moved this one. Getting a lot of snow here and snowing in. It's kind of drifting and it's on the edge of the marsh, so I'm going to move it to a place where I don't have to keep digging it out so much. But anyway, it literally takes like 2 minutes. Up, I throw the tops and the birch and everything in the sleigh. Collapsible pen. Moving on, stop. I could have that reset, and I bet you about 10 to 12, well, probably a minute. Let's say go with a minute. So, quick reset. That's what I'm doing right now, quick reset. So these little traps really start working well after I start covering the tops of them with boughs. I don't know if it was the shelter that's providing this more just making the rabbits want to go in more, or if simply just stopping the rabbits from jumping out over, because I did have a lot of rabbit sign inside the pens and they weren't disturbing the snare, so I was assuming they were jumping over the pen, which they may have been. But that being said, very odd, because these snares are not touched, and yet he managed to find his way in, feet on the birch. I have no idea how he got in there. He didn't jump up over because I don't think there's room enough to jump over. Certainly didn't crawl underneath. It didn't disturb the sticks. So there's still a rabbit or two. There's a real mystery on they're going in, but I have no idea how they're getting in. They're obviously smart rabbits. Maybe they had a snare around their neck caught before, so now they're just become what we're known as keen. Anyway. Okay.
I got one!
This is our last one of the day. Let's see, have a look, Key. What's it?
My foot.
Okay.
Good.
This one got a lot of activity there. God. One snare, you get the other snare knocked out, and he's been in there eating. He almost got all the bait to eat. So I think there's like a few rabbits here. Let's take a look at the bait. It's all chewed up. Rabbit buttons everywhere. Few snares knocked out. So this is our last one of the day. To pick this one out and head home. Want to take it out, Key?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Then I get my foot stuck again. Where did it go? Oh, it's right there.
I just wanted to show one quick thing. There's a lot of rabbit sign here, but of course this is all rabbit sign. But what I wanted to show you was rabbits seem to love ashes from fire, and someone had a fire lit here probably about 2 weeks ago, and it snowed over, and just see how the rabbits have dug a hole down through the snow and been at that ash from the fire. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's a lack of nitrogen in their body and they're craving something to fulfill it. I'm not sure of the scientific reason behind it, but rabbits love wood ash for some reason. Just look at the sign here where they're around this old fire. And like I say, it was covered over because it snowed quite a bit since the fire. And now they're here digging at the ash from the fire. Very interesting. All right, sis, did you set the snare back?
Oh, no.
We're going to set the snare back and move on our way.
What?
Just check see if he has a snare on him from before, because he broke the snare a few days ago. See if it's the same one or a different one. Does it have any other snare besides the one on it?
Nope.
No. Okay, so that's another one. Who's going to set this one back up? You, sis?
Yeah.
All right. It's getting late, so we're going to head on out now after we get this one reset. All right, so we got another one. This is the second day in a row for this pen. We got one yesterday and another one today.
Oh my God.
How about the other snare, Key? Is he knocked out, or?
He's gone, yeah.
He's gone too?
Yep.
Is he broken, or?
He's completely gone.
Completely gone. So we had two in this one. We're yet to get a double. I guess we maybe became close on this one, but okay, you gonna sit back up, sis? All right. We're gonna end our video with this. We've had this out for a week and a half now. This This is our last check of the day. We had one here. See, he got in. There's buttons all around. Bust the snare, and I guess what happened, he busted the snare, and maybe another one came and went in and had a feed on the bait station there. But anyway, so what we done, we set 5 of these pens, 2 snares on a pen, so that's a total of 10 snares. And we also set 10 traditional type snares throughout their snaring route as well. Keegan shot one of those traditional snares, right? Hunter, you shot one of those traditional snares, correct? Yep. And how many rabbits did you guys get out of your snares?
One, I think.
How many did you get, Keith?
I'm pretty sure I got 1.
Okay. Actually, you both got 2 each.
Oh!
You were with me one day, and I got a rabbit on a day that you weren't there. You had 2 each.
Oh.
So, 10 traditional, 10 snares here. We ended up getting 10 rabbits in these pen sets, and we ended up getting 12 rabbits in our traditional sets. So, conclusions. They don't catch rabbits any better than traditional sets. They kind of hold their own. A couple of points was they really start working well when I start topping in the tops. Before that, rabbits were literally jumping up over and getting in the pens and eating the birch and jumping back out. So covering it over, done a couple of good things that kept the bait looking fresh because it wasn't getting snowed in, and in a heavy snowfall it would protect the snares from getting snowed in, so you would actually catch rabbits. When your traditional ones would be snowed over, I'd come in and have a rabbit in this pen type set. So that's the end of this video. Did we have fun? Was this a good adventure? Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, especially that I'm driving.
Yeah, especially you're driving the skidoo today. So yeah, it was fun. Sometimes it's nice to do things differently. Special thanks to NL Ghost Wolf, Charlie White. This is kind of where the idea came from. And I believe he got this pen set idea from a gentleman named Keith Manning. I'm hoping I'm getting those names right. So I can't take credit for these type of traps, of course. They weren't my ideas. I'm just trying them out. Saw the NL Ghost Wolf video on his YouTube channel and quite intrigued by it. So they do work. I'm gonna put them in the shed and use them again next winter. That's it, I guess. Any fun on those guys?
No. It's March. It's snowing.
March is snowing, and the rabbit season is coming to a close very shortly. Yeah. And we had fun. Yeah. Look forward to doing something interesting again later on into the future. Yeah. Take care.